DK Sinha this side. This week, global markets faced a major test. Geopolitical tensions increased sharply. Many global indices opened with a gap down moves. Investors were worried about rising uncertainty. Yet, when we examine the charts carefully, a very different picture emerges. Most major global indices defended important support levels and recovered strongly from intraday weakness. At the same time, several macro indicators that often create pressure on equities actually moved in the favorable direction. So the big question is, are the global markets showing resilience despite the headlines, or are the investors becoming too complacent? Let us find out. Before we dive into technical analysis of the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100, let us first perform a global market health check. We will begin with the US market. This week, Dow Jones gained approximately 0.65%. More importantly, it bounced from EMA 55 support area. The S&P 500 advanced roughly 0.66% during this week and continued to respect its demand area. The Nasdaq 100 remained one of the strongest major indices, gaining about 2.34%, and Russell 2000 delivered our strongest weekly performance among the major US indices, rising nearly 4.73%. Now, why is this important? Because healthy bull markets usually show broad participation. If only one index is rising while others are struggling, that can be a warning sign. But this week, we saw participation from large caps, technology stocks and small caps. This is generally a positive signal. Let's now move to Europe market. The UK market gained around 1% during this week. The chart shows that the price continues to respect dynamic support area. Germany's DAX declined, although 0.5% for the week. However, the interesting observation is that despite of the gap down opening, buyers defended the EMA 21 support area and prevented any meaningful breakdown. In other words, weakness appeared at the open, but selling pressure failed to follow through. That is often an important clue about market strength. Now let us look at Asia. Japan's Nikkei 225 fell roughly 0.85%. Hong Kong's Seng declined by around 0.98%. South Korea's Kospi slipped around 0.45%. At first glance, these numbers may appear weak, but let us focus on price behavior rather than percentage change alone. All these markets experienced gap down openings, yet all the three defended support levels and recovered sharply during the session. The Hang Seng even formed a strong recovery candle after testing neckline support. And among these markets, Kospi continues to display relative strength compared to many global peers. The key takeaway is simple. Markets were given a reason to panic, but buyers continued to defend important support zones. Before we move ahead, let us test your market knowledge. Which index is generally considered the best measure of overall US market strength? Option A, Nasdaq 100. Option B, S&P 500. Comment A or B. Now let us shift our attention to market sentiment. Whenever uncertainty rises, I like to compare sentiment with actual price action. This week, investors were clearly nervous because of the geopolitical developments. But what happened to the volatility finally? Volatility actually declined. That tells us that the fear did not translate into aggressive risk-off behavior. Once again, price action remained more resilient than many investors expected. And this is a valuable lesson. Headlines can influence emotions, but price remains the final judge. Now let us move to the macro dashboard. First, Brent crude oil. Despite geopolitical tensions, crude oil actually moved lower during this week. That reduces immediate inflation concern and is generally supportive for equities. Second, dollar index. The dollar slightly weakened this week. A softer dollar often creates more favorable backdrop for risk assets. Third, the US 10-year bond yield. Bond yields also declined. Lower yields generally reduce pressure on equity valuations. And finally, inflation expectations. Inflation expectations remain contained and did not show signs of immediate inflation shock. So when we combine all these macro indicators together, the picture becomes quite interesting. Crude oil down, dollar down, bond yields down, volatility down. That is not the type of macro environment that normally accompanies a major market breakdown. So before we move to the charts for technical analysis, let us summarize everything we learned so far. US market showed broad participation. European markets defended support. Asian markets recovered after gap down openings. Volatility declined. Crude oil declined. The dollar weakened. Bond yields moved lower. Overall global market health remains constructive. Now let's move to the most important part of today's video, the technical analysis of S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. This is the weekly price chart of S&P 500 index, which finally closed at 7,431.45. Now look at the price action very closely. This was acting as a dynamic resistance before it gave a breakout over here. And during this correction or the pullback, it took support at this trend line over here. What does it indicate? That earlier it was acting as a resistance and now it is acting as a dynamic support. But when we look at the prior impulsive wave, which is very large, and do the retracement analysis, this bounce back is coming from a very shallow retracement of 23.6%, which is obviously considered not healthy unless and until there is a confluence in the daily time frame. So let us go to the daily time frame. What we look over here, it is bouncing from a very important support area of EMA 55. So 7,287 becomes the immediate support area, while the major support area exists over here in this zone where there is a confluence of SMA 144. So 6,950 to 7,090 is the major demand area, which coincides with the earlier breakout of a major resistance over here at 6,950, which corresponds to nearly in a zone of 38.2% to 50% retracement zone. Look at the momentum indicator RSI. What has happened over here? If we compare this level versus this level, there is a clear momentum discrepancy, and here it has taken support at the 40 level, which indicates a healthy sign that the loss of momentum has not been significant despite this recent time pullback where the price has taken support at EMA 55. Look at MACD. There is clear-cut diminishing momentum because the size of the histogram is reducing. So if the support of 7,287 holds, what could be the potential upside move? Let us do the wave analysis. The last impulsive wave was this. If we project the level, then what has happened? That this recent time pullback has started from 127.2% expansion level, and hence on trend resumptions, the likely next level should be 161.8% expansion level, which comes at around 7,777. Now this is the price chart of Nasdaq 100, which finally closed at 29,635.95, and this was earlier major resistance, and there was a breakout over here, and now during this pullback, this acted as a support, and there is a formation of a bullish pin bar candlestick pattern. So it has defended the very important demand area from 27,800 to 28,500. But considering the prior impulsive wave, here too the retracement or the correction or the pullback looks quite shallow. So let us look at the daily price chart. When we look at the daily price chart, what has happened? After the formation of this candle, look at this candle, which is a red candle. which is an inside bar that indicated diminishing momentum on downside. And then what has happened next day? There was a formation of a one white soldier candlestick pattern. So finally, this becomes the important demand area because the price has taken support over here and there is an intervention of EMA 55 as well. And during this formation of a one white soldier candlestick, the volume was above average volume. If you look at the momentum indicator, RSI has not even tested the 40 level and has given a bullish swing breakout, while MACD is showing the diminishing momentum on downside because the histogram size is reducing here too. So if I try to draw some kind of bullish flag pattern, I am drawing, watch it very closely. Here I have taken this and here I am projecting to cover all the closing point within the flag portion. So there is a breakout of the bullish flag where the impulse is quite bigger. So if I just measure the height of this pole and then project from the retracement level, the next potential level comes at 33,873, which is nothing but 61.8% expansion level, which looks quite encouraging, provided it defends the level of 27,800 over here, which is nothing but EMA 55 and the important demand area with a confluence of gap over here, which is adjusting and likely to act as a support. Now that you have learned how the price action analysis is done, today's homework for you. Open daily chart of Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. Identify the bullish candlestick pattern formed on 11th June 2026 and comment pattern name and current market phase, markup or markdown. I would love to read your response and would reply it also. Learning never stops with DK Sinha.